Yeah, but Dave, I just said I don't want cables in the cockpit. I just want to have enough battery life in the camera. And then you've got the Sony cameras that a few people use. But the Sony cameras, the battery lasts ages, but they don't have a screen on them. So, so you can't see what the camera's doing. Every time you want to line it up, it's to line it up, get the phone out, connect to it wirelessly, like have a look what it can see. Like each camera takes another 5 minutes to set up. When you're sat on the apron and you've got the plane booked out, it's just like more faff that you have to deal with. Yeah, Matty, he does. He uses Sony camera. I asked him about it. And like I say, it doesn't have a screen, so it's a bit of a... ugh. Sony has a HDMI out to compensate. How does that help you when you're in the plane? WFL Gaming, thank you for 37. Solid Bond, 5 years, sir. Happy anniversary, thank you. Your phone records 4K 60 FPS for hours. Why can't GoPros do that? I don't know. I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that your phone's image sensor's that big, whereas a GoPro's probably bigger. If a Sony AS50 without the screen and it lasts for 3.5 hours. Yeah, the trouble with like a big DSLR camera in the cockpit is a bit of an issue. No, I didn't record the flight, Matty. Nope. Because I actually have a clamp, a GoPro clamp that I bought from the States that I bought before the whole Corona thing kicked off. And you put the GoPro inside the case, and then it has this like safety clamp, and under the wing on a Cessna 172 you have the tie-down hooks, and this thing, like the bolt goes through it and then it clamps in and pin locks, so even if the whole thing falls apart it will still hang on the hook so it won't fall out the sky. And that lets you lock a camera in so you have a wing view camera, which would be amazing, but I've never actually been able to try it. Thank you. But again, you've still got the battery life problem. Yeah, thank you. Pizza time. Cables you use go via the headset so you don't have cables everywhere. Wait, power cables via the headset? How does that work? I don't know if that would be good enough, Dave, honestly. I just don't get why GoPro don't make an extended battery thing. Yep, I think there was hills in the distance. Look at that. France has stopped being completely flat. Your Discord be linked. Okay. I hope it's not the one I've seen before that Vrome posted. Let me try and find it. Yeah, I can't see his link. I don't see it. Because I did try one off, it was like some cheap Chinese thing, and it was awful. No, action extended battery for GoPro Hero. That's the Hero 7 black, 6 black, 5 black. What have I got? I've got a 5 and a 6, I think. Is the battery pack built into it? Has it got its own battery pack inside then? Or do you have to, like, add a battery? Is that only in the States though, bro? I mean, something like that is what I'm after. Something that can extend the battery life. We like your eyelash tutorials. Any plans for an Arnav one? I can do an Arnav one. Mrs. Squirrel's brought me the messiest pizza. I swear this is homemade. Not yet, Wicked Mouse. I think I'm fairly certain I know about Train Sim World 2. There's going to be more of the same plus some underground stuff. You're right there, Battle Cattle. The Bakerloo 9's half decent. It's just the fact they said they wouldn't do that and then they went ahead and did it. That's what's annoying. And they still haven't added multiplayer. FPS 56, 55, 51, 52. Yeah, but there are YouTube videos where, before they released Train Sim World, there are YouTube videos of, like, interviews of Matt and stuff, and things that we're going to put in the sim, and things that weren't going to do. And the whole point was to just be like one sim and build on it. And multiplayer was going to come and all that kind of thing. It's not happened. Alban, I don't know, mate. If you change to the outside of the plane. 52, 48, 51, 50, 52 again, 53. I'm not really sure how it's going to help you. He thought about getting a dash cam rather than a GoPro. They have longer lasting batteries. I haven't really, no. Worlds of Flight in the Dragon 32. A friend of mine had a Dragon 32. I always thought that was a bad purchase. Turned out to be I was right. What was it used to play on the Dragon 32? That I can't remember what he used to play now. I think it had like one good game. He had Chucky Egg and Phoenix and stuff. In France at the moment, Donkey. Do you have a dash cam in the car? Yeah. I do. I have a ThinkWire, what's it called? A ThinkWire Q400 Pro or something. I also put a dash cam in Mrs. Squirrel's car as well. Let's have a look at this. So we need to turn and descend.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't actually look at the RNAV chart, did I? Korean Sincere, thank you for the bits. Thank you. Appreciate the support. So, Fagor there. They have to be 3,000 mandatory. Whoa, Donut, 3 years. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary. Fantaro, welcome back. Is the insurance much cheaper with a dash cam? No. There's no incentive from insurers to have a dash cam. But I can tell you that if you've ever dealt with an insurer and you've had somebody like drive into you or whatever, they'll always turn it around and say it was your fault. Like they'll never admit blame, and they'll always try and say it was your fault. So if you have a dash cam, you basically have proof. So it might mean the difference between your insurance, claiming on your insurance and claiming on their insurance. It's a real pain having no V-speed. Wait, if we put autopilot on, we're in roll mode. I wonder what happens. Oh my god. Ugh. I was hoping without any directive it would just hold it. Stupid thing. Someone hit your new car the other day. Oh my god. Well, if you get a good one, Neo, if you get a good dash cam, you get like a front and back view. And you might think, well, why the heck would I ever want a rear-pointing dash cam? Well, if you're parked up in your supermarket and somebody decides to reverse into your car, hits the back of it, at least you'll have the registration plate, right? Or again, if somebody, like, drives into the back of you and then drives off, you'll have that there as well. But the other thing is, if you get a good dash cam, they actually, if you have it fitted, if you have it wide into the car, it will have like a parking mode on it, and it'll record when when the car's turned off, basically. If it feels like a bump or something, it'll start recording. Or if somebody starts messing about with your car. How do you save a flight plan on SkyVector to share with your planned one into the Canadian Rockies? You click on top right, there's like a thing that says link, that has like a chain icon. And you click that, and I think that's what you use to share a flight plan. 613 Ghost, welcome. Worst accident you ever had, it totaled the car I was driving, but the other driver got in much more trouble because he was driving without a license. Lol. Oh my god. Well, at the end of the day, that's his risk. Right, we need to be down at 3,000 for this next turn. There's a lot of like small lakes and stuff here. Look at the map. It's just crazy. It's like the swamplands in front. Bacon, I would think it's going to be fairly soon. I think they're on the last page of applications, so presumably once they've finished the last page, they'll open up applications again, hopefully. I'm not sure, Ambius, I never use it, to be fair. $3,000 to fly 16, and then descend. Will Honeycomb do a bundle to get the yoke and throttle? I mean, it would kind of make sense at some point, Matty, but whether they will, don't know. Will it be this year? Highly unlikely. They'll have enough problems just even delivering them this year. Nice one, JV. Fly 16, that's our descent point. There's a mandatory 3,000 here, I think. Get rid of some speed. Hopefully we should see an airfield shortly. There it is. Right, first stage of flaps is in. How does a real honeycomb feel to... How does a real yoke feel to honeycomb? Basically, the biggest difference is the amount of deflection power that you need. Like when in a real aircraft, when you pull, the forces that you feel are so much stronger. The new honeycomb, that's going to be the throttle. Wait, was it fly 16? Oh. I thought that was fly 16. That's fly 16. 1,000-foot decision altitude. Should have punched that in, really. Dummy Monk, thank you for 43 months. I did a video on it, Carlson, so you can watch the video on my autopilot, basic autopilot. I'll take full flaps. It's getting a bit bumpy. We're not using precision approach, what cues you inside your own descent glide path. On an RNAV, you've actually got a glide slope indicator there. And if you arm the approach on an RNAV, it will follow it. But my autopilot's obviously broken. But I'm just following the descent profile as exactly like the autopilot would. If you're doing like an LNAV or something, then you need to look at the chart, and it has like, generally speaking, they'll be configured for like 3 degrees down, but they'll have checkpoints on the way where it'll say this waypoint, you should be this altitude. And you can basically follow those. Not even at our decision altitude yet, blimey. See how the papulites and the glide slope disagree. Is there any way to turn around? Yikes, gotta go all the way to the end. Serious? What we got in? Flown without any autopilot whatsoever. It's good to do that sometimes, it just keeps you on your toes a little bit. It's too easy sometimes to get in and just punch the autopilot and let it fly it. If you actually just do it manually, then kind of brings your skills back. We got loads of fuel, bro. We got absolutely loads of fuel. Let's hit the parking brake and then the flight gets logged. You flown the 172 without the G1000? Yeah. Well, the nearest thing you can get to the retro planes solar pod is either the 152, which is purely six pack, or the Robin DR400 is a nice little plane to fly in as well. Used to fly gliders in Norway. Oh, dude, I've always wanted to try a glider. I hope they add gliders to this. What's the challenge in hanging behind a propeller? I don't know. I'd rather have an engine, personally. But one of my ex-instructors was a glider pilot. I'd kind of like to go gliding, but two up with an instructor just to sort of try it out, you know. Yeah, they're going to add helicopters, but, you know, you're realistically looking at next year. Nice. Thanks to your videos of nether landings, although the other day I did one of my rare flights in the A320, and after 1.5 hours of prep I destroyed my landing gear on takeoff. That's a skill, bro. It's definitely a skill. Flying thermos is the coolest thing. Yeah, gliders just amaze me. The fact that you can fly without power is just insane. I'm hoping that's brought in a fair bit of money, that one. Oh yeah. 7 grand. Look at that split. So these guys want to go. Let's see if there's anybody else wants to go to L-flip. Nope. Does anybody else want to go to Lille? Nope. There's a lot of passengers at this airfield. How do they generate so many? Look at it. We watched a video of a guy flying for 3.5 hours in a glider. It's a bit like what eagles do, don't they? Just have these massive wings and then just ride the thermals. A good glider ratio is 45 to 1. Right, I need to bounce this because it is most definitely broken on the autopilot. Need a bigger SSD. You can never have a big enough SSD. The regular 172 autopilot doesn't work. Works fine. Yeah, Mickey, that's what the gliding instructor said. He said you look for the clouds and you head for the clouds and there'll be a thermal underneath it. I just love how, like, every glider has that bit of string on the cockpit window. Just so they can see when the plane, like the aircraft's slipping and stuff. Yeah, it literally is like a piece of red wool. I'd really like to try gliding in this sim before I tried it in real life. But I don't know if they can do it or not. Depends how well they've implemented the atmosphere. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, just to... FSX had it. Yeah, but not being funny, FSX did not have a proper weather system. I swear I've told that MSF bridge to stop making noise every time it connects. Turn off all notifications for MSF bridge. There you go. I've done that already. Cuzzy, happy birthday. Strings are more accurate than instruments in helicopters. They also don't break as much. And they don't cost as much money to replace either. Nan, can I borrow your wool? Sure. Snip. Sellotape. There we go. Edie, it would be dark when we started by the sound of it. That's the problem. Right, L fly to L flip. Bron, Leon, weather live. I don't know why it keeps going back to preset. I like the last weather I've chosen has always been live, and it keeps flipping back to preset. It's really weird. Let's put a DHL on there for the giggles. Oh, it says 358 at 5 knots now. Interesting. Like it's got the live weather all of a sudden. Have they fixed the weather and the wind? Sometimes the weather works fine. Sometimes it doesn't. I can't put my finger on what stops it working. Did you know the yaw string is opposite to a ball in the tube? So you have to do whatever the opposite of the string is doing. That must be a real tricky thing to remember when you go from a plane to a glider and back. Did you say they're continuing regular Train Sim 2021 coming in a few days? Oh, give over. Oh my God. How does that even work? So they've got 2 train franchises just running and releasing every like year or two. Good job. Let's have a look at the DHL livery. See, these livery guys should never paint the tail number of the plane on there, because the sim will always do it. Well, there's a van behind us, so this pushback's going to be fun. One is significantly worse. I would say which one, Matty, but I don't think anybody knows the answer to that. He's not moving, is he? Let's do that before I forget. L fly to... We need to go to L flip first. 50-mile run. Very short hop. You serious?
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Okay, that's better. L fly. Just double check that. May Thet.
Happy anniversary.
750 articles. Good. Stimpy, thank you 21 months. Finally, I can resub again after a bad financial year. I'm glad things are on the right track for you, Stimpy. Welcome back, sir. Do you recommend Orbex London City Airport? It's up to you. Depends how often you fly around London, I'd say. I mean, it's good. It's as good as it was in P3D and stuff. What's it going to do? Oh, yeah. It's going to look at Navigraph. Interesting. Not sure I like the look of that. I think I'll just VFR the whole thing. Because if we try to instrument this, it's going to take us all the way around the houses. I don't know what the weather's doing down there. There's a free airport in the marketplace. Which airport, though?
Welcome back, Nutter.
So they got a northerly wind coming in right now. Should actually better landing in on 0, whatever that is, 04 or something. Yeah, we'll just go straight in on 04. Seems to me like there's a lot of hills here. You think? Oh, the yeah, that's the one on Aerosoft did. I think. Is it like Stuttgart or something? I think it was. Oh, was it? Oh, no, it's either Orbex or Aerosoft released a free airport. Aerosoft Paderborn. I thought Orbex had released a free one as well, though. I reckon we could fly to Abret. VOR. Take off, turn left, fly straight to Abret, and then follow radial in. I wonder if this... Does it give us information on... LTP. Yeah, there you go. See that top of the plate there, LTP, 115.55, and it says 044 degrees, 39 nautical. So if we punch in that frequency into our nav1, that will show up as LTP, and we can pick up the 044 radial, and it'll take us straight into that airfield. And since it's a 04 runway, it'll almost directly be straight in. So that's a really nice way of doing it. So we'll leave it in as direct, but we'll go via LTP. Which it doesn't seem to know about. Nice, it does. 25 nautical, yeah. And then 046, almost bang on. But we'll punch that into here as well. 115.55 LTP. There we go. And then we'll punch that onto... Well, that on GPS and that on Nav1. Oh, it said 044 degrees. So if we set the nav1 course to be 044, we can literally follow that VOR outbound. Take it straight to the airfield. So we don't even have to GPS if we don't want to. If we look at this here, there's some pretty high points here, look. Some 4,000 footers going on. Talking 6 over there, blimey. I think we'll go to at least 6,000, maybe 7. Then descend after the VOR. Right, Jeff. Time to push us back, mate. So the van's gone. Cool. Straight into the van. Thanks. Ultimate realism. Oh my god. Clear prop. Okay, ready to rock and roll here. So you're going to left turn, taxi down to 04, start up FSE, put the flaps down, put the lights on, get going. That is the plan. There's a tablet linked to the game. It's just displaying useful data. I'll show you now. So at the moment, it's just displaying the route, but if I go flying and then use X-plane, it now connects to where we are. Like that. Landing challenges, I've not bothered with those. Taxi speed's always fast in the Caravan, because you can't feather it properly. So it's always like stupidly quick. See that, or you just have to stay on the brakes all the time. Right, FS economy, start flight, passengers loaded. I need to load some fuel at the next airfield. Okay, flaps trim set. Lights are on. Flight director's on. That is pretty true. You are right there. It either glides like it's on ice in the case of the Caravan, or it's like the tires are flat in the case of the TBM. It's just so weird. Right, props all forward. Put the aircon on. Let's do it. Yeah, I've not flown the Kengo too much, to be honest. Yes, it is. The Diamond is definitely quicksand.
Control airspace 1,600 feet above.
Flight planning apps that are free. Sky Vector's pretty okay. SimBrief is really good. Right, flaps coming up. Right, let's see what the GPS does. That was not ATC, that was Sky Demon. Oops. That was Sky Demon warning me that we're just below London at Lyon TMA. Noise. Yeah, this is a paid for app, Sky Demon. So at the moment it's routing to LTP. That is actually the flight plan that we're following. We're going via the LTP VOR. Nope, flaps are in. It just climbs very, very slowly, this caravan, for some reason. I don't know why. We're enjoying the bushlight videos. What does the next episode come out? Definitely this week. I'll record some more. I didn't get a chance to record an awful lot this week because I was focused on real flying. I'll see if I can record something on Monday. Is Sky been good at showing you active danger areas in the EU? Oh yes. Oh yes. For VFR flying around Europe, this is hard to beat this app. It's very good. Like I say, Blast, it doesn't climb. Like, if you look right now, if you look at the climb rate right now, set it to 700 and we're doing 94 knots in a climb. If I put it on 1200, we'll stall. I guarantee it. Don't ask me why. You know, we're maxed out. The ITTs, like, I'm literally throttling this thing right now. But it just doesn't want to know. We don't even have that much on board. We've hardly any fuel, not many passengers, and it just doesn't want to climb. You can climb 800 and 130 knots. What's your payload? What's, you know, if FSE is chucking all your passengers right in the back of the plane, it's doing that to the plane, it can't climb. Like, you can't just take off with no payload and just you and a co-pilot and hardly any fuel and say, look how quick I can climb. Zarek, thank you for 63. I'm still not convinced that FSE is loading correctly. As in, I don't think it's loading the passenger payload in the correct place in the plane to give you proper weight and balance. I think it's loading everything near the back. Cathicrum, thank you for 4. Hey, Zarek. Some pretty good scenery around here, though. I don't think the weights tab shows it. It doesn't show you what FSE is doing. It only shows you what Microsoft Flight Sim thinks it's doing. Looking like it's getting pretty hilly over there. Not quite so flat anymore. Yeah, I think the satellite data. The satellite data here is better than it was back there. That's way more, like, detailed. Right, coming up on 7K. Can't even get it this time. .384. Whoops. Is a payload caravan worth using it over TBM? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. The TBM can go quicker, so you can definitely get around quicker, but it's got almost half the carrying capacity of the caravan. But then it depends where you're operating in FSE world. If you're finding that you're only getting 5, 6 passengers all the time, the TBM's perfect. If you're flying in and out of places that have, you know, 7 or 8, and you can couple them up with more passengers on the way, then you can really load up a caravan and make it pay. $3,400. TBM's better fuel hog. It's not too bad. Yeah, windy.com's great. Alright. It's so good. I just love looking around, like, what's going on, you know? This little swirly over here. And there's one that's building up. I had one building up here, I think, on Tuesday. There you go. You see that developing. But I think it then predicts at the moment it's going to push south. But yeah, if that was coming over here, that would bring some nasty weather with it. But if you notice what it does on Wednesday, it actually, because it's basically drawing the cooler air down now. So that cools the UK quite a bit, whereas before, everything was being pushed like upwards. And if you look at the temperature, you got all this kind of warm air being pushed northbound. So you end up with, like, particularly on Tuesday or something. It's actually not predicting as crazy temperatures as it was. It was predicting 30 at one point, but it's saying like 26, 27. Still pretty warm. But on Wednesday, you see, look at that. It's so much cooler on Wednesday. Probably a lot cloudier as well. That's because the wind's coming back down from the north.